Hello and welcome to Jason CF Media. I am Jason. This is a new project that I'm working on. So if you watch the video and you kind of like the idea that I'm going with here, please let me know. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well if you can. Share it around. I am going to be asking for help. So the more people that get eyes on this, I think the better it will work as a concept. So if you already know who I am, it's probably that you've seen me on Plate Stack Chat or the CrossFit Buff podcast or just on Instagram or maybe at an event in the UK. So I like to talk about CrossFit. I like CrossFit news. And if you're watching this, you probably like CrossFit and CrossFit news as well. However, something interesting kind of happens. Quite often, CrossFit will release a piece of information, whether it's through an email or an Instagram post, and we just get the facts. We don't always get the context. We don't get all the information surrounding it. What we often get is silence. That silence is then filled by people, and I'll be honest, I'm a culprit of doing this, that speculate as to why CrossFit made a decision, what led to this thing happening. But the problem is when we don't have the context, when we don't have the insights, when we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, it's very easy for personal bias or personal opinions, or even just something we think might attract more eyeballs on the content we're creating to kind of lead us down maybe the wrong path. Sometimes it's the right path, but quite often we can just be shooting out wild ideas because we think, well, this is maybe something that people will want to hear. Maybe this will get people talking. So I've noticed that I'm guilty of doing this myself, that, I'll just say, well, this is what I think happened. But I don't have any real reason to think that. It's just my speculation. And I want to move away from that. So what I want to do is try and provide the context, provide the insight by asking questions to the right people, the right questions, and then presenting that here on the channel. Whether or not at the end you change your opinion, whether it just clarifies what you already thought, I don't know. But I just thought this would be a good opportunity to try it. So I wasn't planning to do this today. I don't have a lot of time, so I apologize already if the quality of the video isn't what you would maybe like on your YouTube videos. And also, I'm losing my voice, which isn't helping. But today, CrossFit released an email with a piece of information that I just thought, you know what, this is a perfect example. This is the kind of thing people can speculate about as to why a decision was made. So I'm talking about the semi-final competition liaisons. So this came out in the email today, basically saying that at all the semi-final events, so the 10 live semi-finals all around the world, there will be a person representing CrossFit who will have this role of being the liaison. And it talked about what they do pre-competition as well as what they'll be doing during the competition. And it was particularly this line during the competition that I thought, well, this opens the door to speculation because we're told that during the competition, movement standards are upheld by the judges and applied fairly across the field. So their job is to make sure that the judges are calling the event correctly. So the no reps are being called, people aren't getting through with substandard movement. Now, what's the problem here? Well, I don't know if it's problem's the right word, but obviously this has been a hot topic during the previous stages of the games this year, hasn't it? So we've seen a lot of people with questionable movement standards being called out. So what's going to happen? This comes out, and maybe a lot of people are going to see this and think, right, this is the Hiller effect. Hiller's been calling out people that haven't been meeting the standards in their video submissions, and this is CrossFit's response. They've appointed these people to kind of say, look, this time we're doing it right. We're going to make sure that at all these semifinals, the standards are upheld. The standard is the standard. Now, I'd be guilty maybe even of thinking that way myself. So what did I do? Well, now I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. And this is what I want to do on the channel. I want to take a piece of news like this and I want to talk you through exactly what I did to try and build some more context to see why something happened. So first of all, I wanted to find out who is the semi-final liaison at the semi-final I will be attending, not to compete at, but simply to help out behind the scenes. So I'm going to SiD. So I reached out to Ollie and I asked if he knew who the semi-final liaison for CrossFit was. And I was told that it was Carl Steadman. So instead of just coming on now and doing a YouTube video saying, guess what, guys, I found out who the liaison is, it's Carl Steadman, I reached out to Carl and I asked him if this was the case. I said, I heard this job is yours. I sent him a screenshot of the email. Could you just confirm that? And he did. He told me, yep, that he's going to be there in that role. But that didn't answer my question as to, well, when did this get put into place? So I reached out to probably the best person I could think to ask, which was Andrew Bosman. So I sent Bos a message asking two questions really. One, what was the qualifications for people in this role? And was this always part of CrossFit's plan? Or was this a reaction to people like Hiller calling out questionable standards in videos, or even what happened with event three of the quarterfinals? So Bosman got back to me, which I really appreciate. And he told me that the semi-final liaisons were planned at the beginning of the season. So this is not a reaction to people being vocal online about movement standards and things like that, or CrossFit trying to clean up the mistakes they made at quarterfinals. Apparently, this was always part of the plan. And then he also followed up by telling me that the role is filled by L1 seminar staff who have prior experience with large competitions. So someone like Carl Stedman would definitely fit that box. I did also ask Carl when he knew he had this job. And it wasn't at the start of the season. But that doesn't mean Bosman's lying to me. I've no doubt, he didn't have to get back to me at all, but this is what he told me. Carl did tell me that it's been well over a month that he's known he's been in that role. So it wouldn't really fit with people, with it being a reaction to what has happened more recently, because this is clearly was something in place much earlier, but perhaps that role just hadn't been officially fulfilled until just over a month ago. So that's what I did. So to me, I'm kind of happy now that I've got the answers to my questions. I wondered about this CrossFit liaison. Was this a reaction to all the kind of bad press CrossFit has been getting in the lead up to the games this year? And the answer is no. This is something that was always planned, according to Adrian Bosman, who I have no reason to doubt. Who is fulfilling the role at the semi-final that I care the most about, the one I will be attending? Well, I know it's Carl Stedman, who is the UK and Ireland representative, so a very qualified individual fulfilling that role. Do we need this role? Well, that's another question, isn't it? And again, in speaking with Ollie and speaking with Carl, I know that in SiD, for example, there will be quite a number of people that could have fulfilled that role, actually, according to what Bosman set out as the standard. So I have no doubt that anyway, the standard was going to be held at SiD. They've proven themselves in the past, so why doubt them this time? But I suppose for other semi-finals, particularly those that are maybe having the first time the opportunity to send someone to the games, it's comforting for the competitors to know that if they're going there, there is going to be someone representing HQ, making sure that the right people move on. So this is what I want to do. This was kind of an easy one because I knew people I could reach out to get answers to the questions that I had. But for me, I was happy to get those answers. It meant that, I didn't, well, tonight we're going to be recording on Plate Sec Chat. I didn't want to go on and start saying, hey, you know what? This is a response to Hiller calling them out. So now I know I can speak with a degree of authority because I've asked the right people the questions. The problem I have is I don't always know who the right people are, or I don't even know what news I need to check on. And that is where I said I was going to ask for help. And this is my plea to you. If you're watching this and you follow CrossFit Instagram news, or you get alerts from Twitter or other places, let me know. Tag me if there's something that you think is a bit strange, a bit suspect, or you just like a little bit more information for. Also, let me know if you know people to speak to. If there's someone you think maybe has an answer to a question, let me know. I'll speak to them for you if you don't want to do it. I'm more than happy to do that. And then I'd like to put the videos out. And of course, one of the best ways you can help me is by sharing the video. So if this is something you think could work, something you think maybe is missing a little bit from the CrossFit space, if you don't want to just accept face value what you get told by other people, but you'd like to maybe see the questioning process in the lead up, then I'm happy to try and do my best to do that for you. So thank you for watching. I'm really sorry that I'm not going to edit this video. It's just going to go out raw as it is. But as I said, I'm kind of up against it. I wasn't planning on doing this today, but I also didn't want to wait until all the news came out, because I'd really like to kind of show you how in real time I was able to get the answers to those questions. So thank you for watching. As I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram at JasonCFmedia. And please, most of all, reach out. Let me know what you want to hear, what news you'd like me to check up on, who you'd like me to ask questions to. And I'll see you again in another video.